My name is Tavares Forby. I am a senior staff engineer at Qualcomm. I am a hardware and software engineer. I'm from Compton, California. I started off at a trade school. I went to DeVry. By the time I graduated, Qualcomm was hiring as a technician. I started in as a technician. There's a couple other of my compeers that was also hired in to Qualcomm from DeVry. The way I landed my opportunity at Qualcomm, there's this time where I was going through a lot of interviews, and my career advisor gave me a call, and she said, "Hey, Qualcomm is here at school, and they're interviewing, and I told them about you. Can you hurry up and get here so you can interview with Qualcomm?" And they actually waited for me to interview because my career advisor was like, "Hey, if you guys want the cream of the crop, I have this guy Tavares, really good engineer, really good grades, etc., etc." When I went on site, I interviewed for both the the test group and then the IP group, and that's how I started my careers with the IP group. As time progressed, I became a software hardware engineer. I went back to school. I went to UCSD for wireless embedded system. That was my master's program. There I studied wireless theory, embedded systems, and also enhanced my software skills. What Qualcomm does is they make cell phone chips. So basically you have a cell phone, you have little chips that's inside your cell phone. We make the microprocessors in those chips, the modems, uh, you know, basically the core functions to make a phone work, right? So, but within those chips, there's we do have our own IP, which they're basic cells that we design in house, which is proprietary to us, right? And that was the group in which I started with Qualcomm. The way college prepared me for my career is basically teaching us all the core fundamentals of what we're going to actually need uh, in our workforce. So, for example, there's a lot of digital classes, analog classes, classes on transistors, the flow of electricity, software classes, C, C++. Those are all basic fundamental things that you need for software hardware once you get into the workforce. College helped me understand all the basic fundamentals for me to be able to get started with my career. So the typical day for me at work is most is half meetings, and then the remaining of the day is actually writing software. During the meetings, we talk about specs, what needs to be done. Also, I work with a lot of people overseas, Cork, Ireland, India. So most of my meetings are the first half of the day because that's the time that we communicate when our time are, line up together where it's late for them, early for me, but they're not sleeping or I'm not sleeping. So in the morning time is the time where we do most of the meetings, and then after that, I spend a lot of time writing softwares and talking amongst other people in San Diego. And sometimes some parts of the day we have face-to-face conversations, think tanks, go to someone's office, get the whiteboard and marker and start writing stuff up. What I find the most satisfying is actually once the specs are done and it's time for me to write software. So me, I'm an introvert by design, so that's my me time where I can just be in my head. uh, Writing software is like artwork, right? You can write it all kind of different ways, but when it's time for you and that keyboard, you write it your way, your art, so long you get the job done. So that's to me the most satisfying. The most challenging part of my job is probably working with people. There's a lot of smart people that I work with. They're all A types, and there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen, right? So kind of battling or traversing through that atmosphere can be very challenging at times. The skills and talents that I find useful in this role is being a team player. It's really, really important to traverse a lot of different personalities, getting along with your teammates and getting along with other folks across the team. I think that there are some other values that are skills that are valuable as well. Some skills are just work ethics, like working really hard. Kind of digging deep. Sometimes there's things that are really difficult to understand and to process and to move forward and to write, algorithms of software for. And, sometimes you just can't give up. You just have to keep on pushing, working hard, put your brain into overdrive until you can get the product done. One of the core values that promote success in this role is the ability to learn new things. When it comes to technology is forever changing. If you're not willing to change with technology, that will stunt your growth. The minimum educational requirements for this position is a bachelor's degree. I would recommend going as far as a master's degree. That's preferred, and what's nice to have is a PhD. The advice I would give to a high school or someone that's in college looking to get into this role is to hit the books hard early. I wouldn't recommend taking much time off of school after high school. Once you get started, with your education, just make sure you do like a traditional 4 or 5 year university. Most universities would suffice, but hit the books hard. Take every single class seriously, learn as much as you can, learn as deep as you can, because with this field, there's a lot of complexity, there's a lot of mind-boggling theories, and push yourself to the limit while you're young. The more you know now, the faster you will grow in this field.